In this week's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about intermittent fasting. So there's a lot of misconceptions about intermittent fasting, the benefits of it. So I wanted to kind of give you a quick video about the benefits of it and what it can help you with or hinder. So magically fasting isn't going to give you some kind of a, hormonal response like, you're in starvation mode. So when you eat, your body's going to absorb those calories to build muscles, blah, blah, blah. That's all a myth. That's not factually accurate. So it's not going to give you a response to, be able to, shred fat or anything. It might help you stay into a calorie deficit, which we will get into later, but there is a benefit to not having your body constantly digesting food all the time. 12 hours is a really good fast time for that. 10 to 12, 16, is good. I wouldn't really go any more than 16 hours, but 12 hours gives you your time, a good 12-hour window that your body isn't processing food. It doesn't have to, worry about processing food. It can worry about covering or, relaxing, because anytime your body has to process food, it's another task that your body has to do that's taking away from something else, right? Which is, okay when we're during the day and we're up and we're active, but if I eat right before I go to bed and then I wake up and I eat immediately after that, depending on that window, sometimes we're not giving our body that digestive rest that it needs in order to, do other things, sleep, recover. So you kind of have to have that dichotomy there. I think 12 hours is a really good time to give your body that, digestive window. So if last meal is at 8 p.m., then I can't eat, again, or I wouldn't ideally like to eat until 8 a.m. the next day. Now, you can obviously manipulate that window. If I eat at 7, it's 7, p.m. The next day. You also shouldn't be eating right before you go to bed anyway, because it's harder for your body to now fall asleep, right? Because now your body's trying to digest food and fall asleep, right? So you're giving your body more things to do at one time. When you're up and you're awake during the evening and you're doing all these things, it's fine. But when you're going to bed, you want to try to eat maybe an hour or so before you go to sleep. Then you can go to sleep. Your body's not trying to digest all this food, and you can have a good rest. So this is by far and away 12 hours of fasting to give your body a proper digestive system, a proper rest, is the best benefit of intermittent fasting. Now, there is other strategies that you can do that will help you ultimately reach your fat loss goals, right? There is a possibility that'll help you eat less, right? So now, if I need to, lose weight or eat fat, hello? Do you have something to add? If I am trying to eat less, it might possibly give me that advantage, right? I've talked a lot with my content and my videos posted to this channel recently, this past week, that, we don't always have to eat less calories in order to lose fat, right? It might not even be something, that you need. And especially if I'm trying to eat more, if I want to, I want to reverse, or I'm trying to go back up to maintenance, or I'm trying to be in a slight surplus, to eat more, to build more muscle so I can have a nice long fat loss phase, like I talked about previously, you might not even be having to eat less. So it can be possibly, right? This is an important word, possibly. It possibly can be a strategy to eat less food. The reason that is obviously if I wake up in the morning and I, can entirely skip a meal, right? That's one meal less that I've ate that day. I could possibly then completely skip that meal, and then I would have 300, 400, or 500, depends on the size your meal. The caloric intake, 300 or 400 or 500 calories less than I would have ate that day. Now, sometimes this didn't work for me personally, and it definitely didn't work for a lot of my clients, because what would happen is they would skip that meal, their appetite would just be subsided to later, then they would binge at lunch or late breakfast later in the day, and they would just eat the size of 2 meals in one meal, and then it doesn't really save you any benefit whatsoever, right? So it possibly, if you're someone that doesn't like to eat a lot in the morning, it can help, but other than that, there's really no other benefit to it for fat loss specifically. Again, there's no hormonal benefit to fasting. You're not doing you're not like hacking or biohacking your hormones to just start shedding fat when you're not eating in the morning. That's not how thermodynamics work. So just kind of remember that as well. So one of the biggest misconceptions out there is that, when I eat in the morning, I get tired, I'm bogged down, so I'm gonna completely skip breakfast. What's up, dude? But really, it's really more about the type of food that you're eating, the amount of food that you're eating in the morning. A lot of my clients, me especially, eggs don't really go well. Eggs are kind of more, heavy. They bog me down. They bog, a lot of our clients down. Same thing with breads and not complex carbs, but like starchy refined carbs in the mornings. All those things are heavy. They're going to bog you down. So you have to kind of find a lighter option if you are eating breakfast, maybe, rather than skipping it. So think about, and this goes for really every meal that you eat, not specifically, breakfast. We were talking about intermittent fasting, so naturally we're talking about breakfast. But any meal that you eat, those refined carbs, those heavy things, they're going to bog you down. They're going to get you tired, especially pastas and breads and things like that. So the type of food that you're eating for your breakfast can be a really big impact. Rather than skipping it, maybe you have to shift kind of the foods that you're eating to help you better have a more energized, productive day.